Hello everyone, welcome to Groups Curriculum. This is Rahul. Uh, this is this is a new series of lectures on disaster management. Disaster management, as you know, it has become very important in many of the competitive exams. As you can see, if you go through this course, you will be able to cover syllabus for Group One, Group Two, UPSC, Panchayat Secretary, and SI Constable. All of the prelims exams you will be able to answer questions from. Apart from that, mains of these are also covered. For example, like in Group One in geography. In geography, there is this section of disaster management. Apart from that, science and technology. And in Group 2, there is a separate section for disaster management. Okay, so you'll be able to complete disaster management syllabus by going through these lectures. Okay, and just briefly, what will be the contents? Initially, what I will do is I will introduce you to disasters, as you can see in the list to the left, and later on I'll deal in disaster management, wherein which what is the life cycle of disaster management, and what are the different acts which are related to it, or what are the international protocols or policies, whichever is there. I'll go through the I'll deal with them in this series of lectures. Okay, initially we'll have an introductory session, which right now we have. After that, I'll deal with each of these disasters individually. Okay, so as you know, change is the law of nature. Okay, this is very famous statement which is given by all. Like, what is constant in the environment or on the earth is change. Change is the only constant. Change is the only constant thing on the earth. Okay, so these changes, they can be of different types. As you can see here, gradual in the sense which will take long time to happen. For example, mountain building, it will take like millions and millions of years, or it can be a sudden. For example, like earthquake, the earthquake can happen in like in minutes of time, or sometimes even seconds of time. So the changes can be gradual as well as sudden, and it can be small scale. Small scale in the sense the area in which they're acting. For example, even right now, if you see, we are currently going through COVID-19 pandemic. So when we see that classification, we see three different scales. That is endemic, which means the disease is confined to one single area or a country. Then, which is less than epidemic. Epidemic is a little more widespread. Pandemic is global. So here we are seeing that it can be on a small scale or it can be on a large scale, and the changes can also be value neutral in the sense value means preference, like what you want or what you don't want. For example, you may think like today, if it rains, for example, there is a farmer and his crop is there. If the rain happens during the harvest time, he feels bad, which is like he is adding some preferences to it. Like, he wants the rain only when it is growing. When it is growing, the rainfall is good, but when the crop has come to harvest, it is bad for him. So it can be value neutral. Some of these can be value neutral and some are value loaded. Disasters are the things which are considered bad. We humans, we consider certain things as bad, and if they happen on large scale, we call them disasters. For example, right now we are going through COVID pandemic, only taking example from there only. COVID, what it has done is it is very contagious, and it is causing death of um, lakhs of people around the world right now. But what on the other hand is happening is that the nature, because man has stopped polluting, no pollution, or he is not venturing outside. So the nature is gradually taking over the space which is left by human. So for man, COVID is a disaster which may not be the same to the nature as such. Okay. So now let's see what is a disaster. This is a general statement, like a disaster is a sudden accident or natural catastrophe that causes great damage and loss of life. It is a sudden accident. Accident can be natural as well as human. And catastrophe is like great damage, something which causes great damage, we call it as catastrophe. And this is a general statement, but if you want a formal definition, this is formal definition which I took from NCRT. A disaster is a result of natural or man-made causes that leads to sudden disruption of natural life, causing extensive damage to life and property to an extent that available social and economic protection mechanisms, they are inadequate to cope. So here we have to see some key terms in this definition, which is a disaster is a result of natural and man-made causes. This is one, and it causes sudden disruption, and it is also causing extensive damage, and to an extent that the social and economic protection mechanisms that we have, they are inadequate to cope. So each of these terms we have to deal them in detail. Like a disaster, it can be natural or man-made. When you are saying natural, earthquake is natural, and volcanic eruption is natural, cyclone is natural. Man-made causes can be like, there can be like recently in Vizag, what happened is there was a man-made disaster wherein styrene gas was leaked from LG polymers. And earlier also there were many things like in 1984 Bhopal gas tragedy, the methyl isocyanate, it got leaked into the environment. And apart from that, Chernobyl in Russia, or Minamata disease in Japan. So all these are man-made disasters, and it causes sudden disruption. Like this may not be entirely correct, because there can be some disasters like drought which are not sudden. Droughts can happen or gradual. Okay, but anyway, in general you can say like it causes disaster. For example, cyclone happens in less than a week, earthquake happens in like less than a minute or 2 minutes, or less than 10 minutes, or okay, and it may cause extensive damage. This will deal in later part, like what extensive damage is. Okay, and the currently available social and economic protection. Social is something like family. Social protection can also be like their pensions on all. And the economic protection is both personal economic protection as well as government. So any of these, they will not be able to, even if we pull in every of the resources, they will not be able to cope up with. So this definition is very important. A disaster is a result of natural or man-made causes that leads to sudden disruption of natural life, causing extensive damage to life and property, and to an extent that available social and economic causes, they are inadequate to cope up with. Okay. Now let us see what is the difference between what is the relation between humans and disasters. So because earlier we have seen like mostly humans we consider things as disasters because they are bad for us. Earlier what was the case is that human was not technologically that good, or technologically that sound, or like the human population was very less. Then what was happening is that mostly the disasters were being caused by natural causes only. Earlier, there were very few man made disasters, and man was always considered as innocent and helpless victim. But right now, what is happening is that we are seeing many human made causes. If one thing is directly they are causing disasters, for example, Bhopal gas tragedy here, gas leak from that factory, and Chernobyl disaster, the nuclear power plant there, it got damaged and it sent radiation into the environment. So these are something which humans are directly responsible, and humans can also be indirectly responsible. For example, in Kerala, what happened is that the Western Ghats is there. Now, if you take Kerala, the Western Ghats is there. So they have deforested this. Earlier, what used to happen is when heavy rain falls on the Western Ghats, the trees used to stop that water, and they used to send it in a gradual, like it will take some time to come to the plains. But right now, since man has deforested, like the forests were cut down, the all the flood water was released into the rivers, and they caused sudden increase in water and led to heavy floods in Kerala. So right now there are both direct as well as indirect human causes. Okay, and over a period of time, the number of disasters that are being caused because of human interventions, they are increasing, both in terms of frequency means in 1 year if one disaster used to happen, now 10 disasters are happening mainly because of humans. And intensity, here I'll give you an example, like uh, suppose if you see that this is rainfall. Okay, now in somewhere at end of May there will be no rain, and suddenly there will be an increase in rain, and it will gradually declare. So this is uh, something which is in general happening. But in recent times what we are seeing is that the rains are starting slow, they are causing heavy rains in short period of time, and they are receiving, like in less number of days we are having more rain. This is mainly because of climate change, which is another human induced disaster. Okay, human made disasters can be, like how like human made disasters, they can be reduced to some extent because we have made them on our own. If we change our habits or if we take some mitigation measures, we can actually reduce the disasters. But in case of natural disasters, like we cannot stop an earthquake, or we cannot stop a cyclone. Okay, there is something interesting. If there is a cyclone which is in the sea, um, there is a concept that if we detonate an atom bomb on the cyclone, it is possible that we can stop the cyclone, but which is not advisable. So there are some rare instances where you can stop a natural disaster, but mostly we have to deal with those disasters. But best way is to mitigate. Mitigate means reduce the damage and manage the disasters. Management is full life cycle, like preparedness and mitigation, rehabilitation, rescue. So all these, there are 6 steps in disaster management. So all this, with using all these steps, we can actually prevent natural disasters. Okay, and one more topic in basics is, like we use the terms hazard and disaster. They are often used interchangeably, like we use one term for the other, but there are they are actually different, because natural hazards are there. They are elements of circumstances. They are elements of circumstances in natural environment which have the potential. Potential is the keyword. Like hazard is something which is dangerous. Okay, which is potential, like the danger is hanging on us, which can cause harm to people or property or both. Okay, for here we can take one example where, like, earthquake is a hazard. Okay, earlier what used to be there on the earth is only trees, and humans, they all used to live in the nature. Even if there is a sudden shaking, it is not possible that great damage is caused, because in earthquake most of the times the deaths are happening because of falling buildings. Earlier we didn't have huge buildings or weak structures which didn't actually cause that much of damage. But recently what is happening is we have built so many buildings and weak buildings in such a way that earlier earthquake, which was a hazard. Okay, Earthquake was a potential damaging thing. These days, what happened is that because of human interventions and because of vulnerability, the hazard is turning into disaster. Earlier, as you have seen, disaster is something which causes great damage in uh, a small amount of time. Okay, so that is a potential to cause harm. We call them as natural hazard. Hazard is a situation where there is a situation where if you don't take proper steps, it can it can cause harm to you. For example, steep slope. Steep slope is something like if there is uh, a steep slope like this, and if you build houses here, there can be landslides and it can cause disasters. So the landslide itself, earlier it was not hazard, but since you have put some houses there, you have turned a hazard into a disaster. And unstable landscape, this is also similar. And natural disasters, as you can see the difference, they are relatively sudden and cause large scale, widespread death, loss of property, and disturbance to social system. Okay, so we have already dealt with this. Like natural disaster is when a hazard actually turns dangerous. We call it as natural disaster. Natural disaster is an event in which the magnitude of destruction and damage caused is very high. Okay, and here one more term which is very important is the socio-economic factor, because a hazard may not be disaster for everyone. So let us see with an example. For example, there is uh, a house, a well-built houses here, and there are some slum areas in nearby. Suppose if an earthquake happens, since the houses which are better built or which are having strong foundations and beams and all, they are not easy to be destroyed by the earthquake. On the other hand, in slums, the houses are very close to each other. The area is like highly dense. So what happens is because the well-off people, they have built better houses, and in addition to that, what happens is that they also have good savings and they have access to government also. Government also easily may be in a position to help them. So all these factors, they may not be the same because the people are living in slums, they'll be having weaker houses, and they will be having higher population density, they may not be having all the documents, and government may not be able to help them. Since there is a difference in the socio-economic factors, an earthquake can be a hazard to these people and it can turn into a disaster to these people. So their socio-economic causes, they are also very important factors in disaster management. Okay, and earlier what used to happen is that man used to think that every hazard is a disaster and used to avoid hazardous places. For example, if there is a river in Hyderabad, if there is Musi river, okay, earlier man mostly avoided living within the Musi. He used to live on the sides. But right now, what is happening is, since there is some technological advancement, suppose we'll come back to Musi case later on. Like if you take Krishna River, okay, and there is this Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, okay. Earlier, people used to not live in the low-lying areas here, but right now, what happened is due to technology, we have built a dam here, and we can actually control the water. Like there can be a controlled release of water from here, and low-lying areas, they are generally prevented from getting flooded because of heavy inflow. So man, due to this technology, we are able to occupy the low-lying areas, and in turn, this is sometimes resulting in disasters when very heavy rains come. Like last year there was like the floods, like more than 5 or 6 times there were very heavy floods in Krishna river. In such situations, uh, which earlier was only a hazard, it can turn into disaster. And here, because of socio-economic conditions, because the land cost in Hyderabad is very heavy, so then what happens is poor may not be able to afford land in the uh, high in the costly areas. So what they do is they generally occupy the slum areas, and they, because Musi is not always flowing, they can build shanties on the riverbed. Once when there is a flooding in Musi river, it can lead to uh, disasters and loss of life. So mainly, what this sentence says is that earlier uh, we were avoiding the hazardous or disaster-prone areas, but recently we have become we are actually increasingly occupying the disaster-prone areas, and the earlier hazards, they are turning into disasters. Okay, and now let us quickly look at what are the types or classifications of disasters. There are basically four different types of disasters: atmospheric, terrestrial, aquatic, and biological. In atmospheric, which means that the cause of the disaster is in the lower atmosphere, troposphere of the earth. There are blizzards. Blizzard is a windy or gutsy snow rain kind of thing, which generally doesn't happen in India. Thunderstorm, which is very heavy rain in short period of time, mainly happening because of convectional currents, which generally happens on summer afternoons. Lightning is something when two charged clouds, when they meet each other, there is discharge on lightning, can like the electricity can reach the earth in the form of lightning. And drought is when there is no rain for long period of time. Okay. And terrestrial is which is something related to earth. We have discussed in a lecture on science and technology that terrestrial, one of the meaning is earth. So which is something which is happening within the interiors of the earth. Okay. Earthquake, I'll deal these each of the disasters in detail later on. Earthquake is where when faulting or plate interactions happen and energy is released, earthquake occurs. And volcanic eruption, where magma finds its way to the surface through weaker portions of the crust. And avalanche is a landslide of the snow. Soil erosion, this is something where this outer layer of the soil, it is washed away by rains. Okay. And aquatic disasters, which are happening in ocean or rivers. Okay. Floods is when the river overflows its banks. And tidal waves and oceanic currents. Tsunami is when when an earthquake happens, when earthquake or volcanic eruption happens in the seabed, it causes waves, and the waves are transmitted to water, and it causes heavy damage in the surface in the coastal areas. Okay. And biological disasters, these are like recently only we have seen, there has been locust attack from northwest of India. Okay. And this is one of the biological disaster, which are plant and animal colonizers. They can cause disasters. Even like rats or other rodents, they can also cause disasters by damaging the crops. And fungal and viral diseases. Right now we are seeing COVID-19, which is also another form of biological disaster. So these are the basic classification of disasters. In the next lecture, we'll be dealing in earthquake. Okay. Till then, bye, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. If you have any other doubts, just comment in the comment box below, and we will address them. Apart from that, don't forget to share the information with your friends, because this is such an important topic, and within like 4 or 5 hours of lectures you will be able to be prepared for a number of exams, as I have already shown in an earlier slide. Okay. Thank you.